Yeah, I think both sides are doubling down. You've just rightly read out the new development, which is of the total $500 billion in Chinese export to the United States. We now have phase one, which is $34 billion worth of tariffs imposed at 25%. Phase two, another 16, which is due for conclusion of the review period tomorrow, or today, I can't remember which. And then the third is the one due for determination at the end of August, which is now a proposed 25% hike on a further $200 billion. So the administration's doubling down. So what are the Chinese doing? Looking at recent regulatory decisions by the Chinese affecting American firms, the decision to not approve the Qualcomm deal shows that the Chinese are doubling down themselves. The only thing I can see in terms of a crack of light are reports in the last 24 hours from Mnuchin, not from Lighthizer or from Navarro, that back-channel negotiations continue, or discussions about negotiations with the Chinese counterpart Liu He.
I mean, what we've heard from Larry Kudlow's and others recently is that the Chinese haven't seemed interested in even talking or negotiating at this point. What's the sense that you get?
Well, I'm off to China in a few days' time, so I'm a little out of date in terms of, let's call it, the internal chatter within the Chinese system. But what I sense is that the Chinese also have politics within their regime. It's not just that we in the West have politics or the United States has politics. What this is now about is who loses face. And at present, Chinese negotiators, principally Liu He, the Politburo member, came here, did a lot of work originally with the administration, thought they had a deal, that collapsed. And so these guys have lost some face. Right now, the critical next step is that as of August, what happens is the Chinese leadership go to their beachside meetings called Beidaihe. They're off there now. There's one subject, which is how do we fix this thing, or can we fix it? And the strategic options are further doubling down, or is there a deal somewhere to be had in terms of a number which appeals to the president that they can credibly bring about a increase in the imports of American goods.
But that sounds like if there is going to be a deal reached, the Chinese are going to have to agree to bend.
Well, so far, the president, of course, of the United States has come under pressure from the farm lobby. The impact on soybeans and American agricultural exports has not been small, and there's a bunch of angry American farmers out there. So there's pressure here. Within China, though, I think the hit is probably deeper and more structural. The reason I say that is that if you look at the outcome of a meeting of the Politburo about 2 days ago, they're now talking about a more creative approach to fiscal and monetary policy in order to sustain growth levels against international trade pressure. What's all that code language for? We're expecting a hit on our growth number coming out of the trade war, and so therefore we've got a pump prime domestically. So the pressure, I think, is more structural in China, but it's not without its political cost here.